like when they do that. This is the most summery spring day. Look. I think it looks good. I can't make any facial expression. The writing is the fun part, the editing is not. This is just blowing my mind. I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to my channel. I'm in my vanity trying to get ready for the day. I need to wash my hair desperately, but the sun is out right now and it's so gorgeous outside that I thought before jumping into the shower and washing my hair, I would lay out and try to get a little bit of a suntan this morning. These are the kind of days that I like to take advantage of because they're not so swelteringly hot that you can't stay out for very long, but I also like to get my tan at gradual intervals, and that prevents you from burning. So I put on a swimsuit, I'm gonna brush my hair and take out some coffee because I stayed up until 3 a.m. last night trying to get the vlog of me and Allie's hangout in Columbus up in time for 6 a.m. I normally don't stay up that late to get a vlog done, but there were some unforeseen technical difficulties that put me behind schedule, so I didn't get to sleep until 3 a.m. and I feel it this morning. So I thought to reward myself for my dedication to my channel, I thought I would go outside with a good book, some coffee, you guys of course, and see if I can get some vitamin D. I definitely still have my winter shade, aka Casper the Friendly Ghost shade, and I love being tan for the summer, but I also don't like to burn. We're gonna go outside, we're gonna have a chill morning, just laying out, enjoying the sunshine, and reading a good book. I'm putting on some sunscreen on my face. I don't put sunscreen on my body when I go tanning because I don't stay out long enough to really need it. I have a different opinion when it comes to sunscreen. I'm not a big sunscreen gal. I think most sunscreens are really bad for you because of the chemicals they put in. Yeah, they work and they block the sunlight, but I don't think we were made to not have any sunlight ever. I don't think that's healthy, and I also don't think the chemicals they put into sunscreen are healthy either. So I only put sunscreen on my face, and I use the Dermedicin Weightless Face Moisturizer, and it's only SPF 25. It's nothing major, but it's just a little something because I do want to protect my face from sunspots and things like that you get when you get older. But as for the rest of my body, I don't put any sunscreen on, and it's worked just fine so far. But I'm also not a marathon suntanner either. I don't stay out there for 6 hours. I've seen what people look like when they do that, and as nice of a tan as I get, I can burn pretty easy, so taking it slow and steady today. I'm gonna put my hair in the most unattractive hairstyle ever, but it's good for suntanning because it's out of your face and off your neck. And I'm gonna wash it when I come back inside, so it's okay. Try this one. Would it really be a Cassie vlog if I didn't make a mess? listening to a podcast on my phone while I sit out here. I'm not the kind of person that can just sit and have nothing happening, so I either have to take a book with me or listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and that makes the time go faster and keeps me from getting bored. I also have to wink at you this entire time because I can't see a thing. Got my iced coffee, which is so refreshing out here. I tell you, it's hot enough to where we could have gotten the pool out. I mean, it would have taken a while to set up and everything, but if we had the pool up and ready, I'd jump in it. It's that warm of a day. This is the most summery spring day I think we've ever had, but you will not hear me complaining. So I'm gonna lay out here, listen to my podcast, soak up some sunshine. Let's go check on my garden. So we had to move this bed out a bit because we have some lovely ants living here and had to spray, and I didn't want my plants anywhere near it, so scooted that out. We'll move it back eventually. Over here we've got some strawberries, and look, we've got a few already growing. I don't know if this one's ready. I'm not sure how big strawberries get just when you plant them yourself. And we've got some peas over here. They're growing real well. And my raspberry plant right here looks all right. Got a little bloom happening. These leaves look a little sad, but the soil's wet, so I don't think I need to water it. Lettuce, I think, is growing here. I can't tell between what's the real plant and what's little probable weeds. Do you see this though? And this might be a cantaloupe. I can't tell, but I think, because this looks different than everything else. So we'll see. Nothing's dying. That's the positive takeaway. So it's a little while later, hair is still scraped up in the most unattractive bun. I got a little bit pink, so I'm glad I went inside, but I am hungry, so I think I'm gonna make some hard-boiled eggs. I haven't done that in so long, and that just sounds really good, a good protein boost. Got my laptop with me. I'm gonna watch some YouTube while I make it since it's such a long, involved process. I like to have something to watch while I do it. And then I'm gonna hop in the shower and give my hair some much-needed love. It's a little while later. I have washed my hair and I have it in the twisted robe method thing. It works great for curling my hair. And I also can't make any facial expressions because I have these on. I feel like I look a little concerning because I'm trying out a new wrinkle remover. My Instagram ads, I feel like I've mentioned, are 100% tailored to me, and they know how to make me buy something. One of the things they suggested was frownies. So this is a little face patch pack. They come in triangles and squares, and you basically make the shape you need to for the different parts of your face you want to treat, and it comes with instructions on how to do that. So if you want to do your forehead wrinkles, you make this shape with the patches. If you want to do your cheeks, you know, the smile lines around your cheeks, you do this shape. It's really interesting, and I've seen so many people rave about it, so I thought I would try it and see how it worked. So I've had these on a while my hair was drying, so now it's time to take them off. Actually, I should read the instructions and see if there's anything on how to remove the patches by completely saturating with water. Oh, okay. Well, good thing I checked. So I have this thermal spring water spray. I'm gonna try that. Woo! The water definitely helps. Now for the forehead. This is making me sneeze like crazy, by the way. This is making me sneeze like crazy, by the way. This happens anytime I pluck my eyebrows or brush tangles from my hair. I don't know why, but it triggers a sneeze. So if I have to cut out a million sneezes, I'm sorry. Okay, so the point of Frownies is to train your muscles to not move. It's supposed to be a replacement for Botox so that you don't have to get something harmful injected into your face. The pack comes with 144 patches and it should last you 8 to 16 weeks depending on how many you use. You can use it during the day, but the owner suggests using it at night so that you have a longer period of uninterrupted use. And over time it's supposed to train your muscles to not move, and then the wrinkles will disappear. So I have forehead wrinkles that I absolutely don't like. And I'm also very, very expressive with my face. I mean, I could not play poker for the life of me because everybody would know what kind of hand I had. So I thought I would give it a try and do it for as long as I have the patches. Do it every day and see if it improves my forehead wrinkles and my smile lines. So I don't have much smile lines, but I know that these are really good to start using during the preventative years, because as you get older, of course, your lines start increasing and deepening, and I don't want that. And there's also a lot of room for user error on my part. I may have not put them on correctly. It was my first time using them. So my forehead does seem to look a little better. This cheek looks better. This one, not so much, but I do think I put it on kind of wrong. And then the trick, the hard part, is to not use those muscles that you've just trained to keep still. Obviously with my smile lines I can't not smile, but with my forehead I'm gonna try to not move it as much. This method of curling my hair is so comfortable. I prefer them to rollers, which I've done over the course of my life. This just gives you a more even curl, and I just think it looks really pretty. So the ends definitely didn't curl as well as I'd like because the ends were still wet, but I just don't have time to leave them in any longer, so I'll just leave them like this as I do my skincare, and hopefully they'll dry somewhat nice. So the plan for this vlog, I don't think I've even told you the plan for this, is to take the day slow. I have no plans to go anywhere, and I know for me, even as an extrovert, I need those days where I have nothing on and I can just take my day slowly. It's like a reset for my soul. I feel a lot more refreshed, a lot more energized for the next big event in my calendar if I take days like this. I'm going to take my time putting my skincare on, getting myself feeling pretty, then I'm going to get something to eat. Then I'd like to work on my book a lot today. I haven't really prioritized it for a long time just because life has been so busy, but today I have nothing on and there's no excuse. I'm going to work on my book and try to get that edited. Actually, I haven't even updated you on my book in a really long time. Here's what's going on. So you know I read For the Wolf and loved it. For the Wolf has a very particular writing style. It offers descriptions without bogging down the reader with run-on sentences of exactly what things look like. It gives almost jagged sentences that are more fast-paced so that you don't feel like you've slowed down to absorb the description. You just keep reading, oh, okay, that's what it looks like, and keep going. And it also left room for your imagination to picture it however you wanted to. It gave you the basic bones of the description, and then the rest, your brain sort of took over. I have a really bad habit in my book of giving you description ad nauseum. Oh, I used my forehead. Oh no. See, I'm so expressive. And the thing I took away from For the Wolf is that there is a way to offer description but make it more fast-paced, because with my book, my main issue is that I need to cut down my word count because it's too long to pitch to anybody. So I went back to the beginning of the book and I started rewriting in the same writing style as For the Wolf. I'm not copying her story. I'm not copying anything. It's still me. It's still my story. It's just a slight change to the writing style. For the first few chapters, writing it that way, I cut so many words from my word count, and I think that will help a lot. But that's something I want to work on today, is the re-edits and changing my writing style chapter by chapter. That's my plan for now, and I will obviously keep you updated as the day goes along. Alright, makeup is all done. I decided on a red lip, a very red lip, in order to make a very simple but matching eye look. I take the lipstick and I take a brush and I just do eyeliner with it. It makes for a really pretty low effort makeup look. The lipstick I used is Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in the color Alluring. It's quite the red. I couldn't have gone redder if I tried. So in the vanity, I talked you through my plans for my book, but what I didn't talk you through is my eating plans of late. So I know I've mentioned that I want to go keto for the longest time, and the two things holding me back are biting the bullet and making sure I can afford it. That means a lot of meat and that means a lot of money, and I need to really plan out how to budget that. So sometime today I'd like to sit down and make a meal by meal list where I plan out just a week. Just 1 week. I'm not going to try to financially plan out for more than that. I want to start small, and I'm giving myself a lot of grace on the, oh no, I messed up area. So this spring and summer, I really would like to make my character arc. I'd like this to be my transformation summer. Isn't there a book or something called that, like The Summer I Turned Pretty? That's basically what I'm trying to do here. But more than just try to be pretty, I want to be healthy. A lot of things in life hinge on how you look, so there is a superficial side to it, I'm not gonna lie, but the main force driving this motivation is health. I thought I would show you the beginning stages of how I'm planning everything so that you can see all of the fumbling, all of the, oh no, this wasn't the best option, here, let me adjust. There's going to be a lot of trial and error with this, so I probably won't make a full-fledged video on anything related to keto for a while, except for little updates of what I've been loving or just discovered, because it's all subject to change as I learn. But one thing I can implement right away is a fasting window. To start off, I drink coffee. This does not break your fast, so you can go hours without eating, but your stomach still feels like you've eaten something. I usually like my vlogs to have more of a story than this, but it's a day in the life for a reason. Some days look a little different, but I'll try to keep it cohesive as far as filming goes so that it does feel like a story, as opposed to this day is full of very random things and there's no rhyme or reason to them. They're just things that have to be done. Some days are like that, but I'm gonna try to make today not like that. The rain stopped, which is nice. Some blue skies again. You can tell summer's coming with the rapid changes in weather. So I'm breaking my fast with some chicken. It's low sodium, golden roasted chicken. So yummy. This I'm not sure if it counts as keto or not, but I think it does. The only questionable thing would be the mayonnaise, but you can't do hard-boiled eggs without mayonnaise. This is my breakfast for now. I'm just doing something small, and then I have something a little more in-depth planned for lunch. And I forgot, I'm having some Zevia Pop for my drink. So this is the black cherry flavor, but they have all sorts of flavors that mimic the pop you like. So they've got a Mount Zevia, which is supposed to be Mountain Dew, but this is 0 sugar and it's caffeine free. It's made with cane sugar, I believe, and it's just a healthier alternative to pop. I really like that. The only thing is, I know you can't have that outside of your eating window because even though it's not bad sugar, it still can trigger your glucose levels to skyrocket if you're outside your eating window. So just something that I have to keep in mind. Hi, okay, so my lunch plans were slightly altered because my dad offered to pick up lunch for everyone, but I still tried to keep to balanced, protein-filled meal. So I had some strawberries that I've already halfway eaten that were going bad, so I cut those up. I have coffee, of course, and then I've got some scrambled eggs, some chicken, and corn from Bob Evans. I'm definitely getting into the sludgy part of editing where there are scenes that have to happen in order to set the scene or move the plot on to the next event, but it's slightly boring. It's probably not boring to a first-time reader, but I've lived with this story for over a decade. From its inception to what it is now. That's a long time, and I basically know everything by heart. So it feels really boring and repetitive to go through it and edit it over and over and over. The writing is the fun part, the editing is not. Hi, it's a little while later, and I've been working quite a long time on this one chapter. It's so sludgy, but I cut off a couple hundred words from that one chapter alone, so I feel very satisfied. I wanted to give you a little bit of an example of a sentence or a paragraph that I detailed a little too much. It's kind of a run-on sentence, just doesn't have the right flow, and then I want to give you an example of how I changed it. So let me find one real quick and I'll rewrite it and then show you the side-by-side. I also need to make sure it's not a spoiler because that would be bad. Sun went behind the clouds again, so I'm using my laptop as lighting. Okay, I'm gonna read you the paragraph as it was and then read you how I edited it to be more concise. Here's the paragraph as it was. Hurrying along the lit passage, following the glow, Marie and Daniel waited for each correct passage to reveal itself, until they abruptly hit a dead end. Nothing but a stone wall faced them. Unlike the rest of the tunnel, it was a smooth, solid wall, old-looking, and discolored. Okay, that's the original paragraph. The one I edited goes like this. The passages were disorientating, but the lights led the way, a glittering guide through the maze of tunnels, until it led them to a stone wall. Smooth, solid, and definitely a dead end. It's less words, it's more concise. I don't need to say things like the wall was discolored or the wall looked old, because the surrounding scenario sort of leads to that. It kind of guides you to imagine it that way without actually saying it. That's the kind of edits I've been doing for the past 6 chapters. And don't ask me how many chapters there are throughout the whole book, because I don't even know at this point. Wait, maybe I do. Hang on. 60 chapters. Yep, it's a lot of chapters, and I'm only at chapter 6, so only 54 more to go. I do think, though, I'm gonna have to go to a coffee shop here because there's just too many distractions. You can already hear voices from downstairs. It's not that anybody's being disruptive, it's just that my ADD brain can't focus properly when there's things happening. Voices from people in the same house are somehow different than voices that somehow become background noise in a coffee shop. It's just different. I might have to pack up all my stuff here and go to a coffee shop in order to get any significant work done, which I don't mind because A, I get to have coffee, B, I get to write in a really cute atmosphere, and C, I get to dress cute for people I'll never see again. And D, I'll be doing something really productive that's important to me. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, I've just fixed myself up a little bit, ready to go to the coffee shop. I gotta say, I feel like this vlog has sort of been all over the place. For that, I apologize. Just some days are like that, especially days where I take things slow. And sometimes they're not that exciting, sometimes they are. Hopefully you enjoy these more laid back, chill, less than grand adventures. But I think we can all agree that going to a coffee shop is very exciting. So I will take you along for that and see if I can get some work done on my book. I stayed there for quite a few hours and it's just tedious work. This chapter in particular needs a lot of information stuffed into it in order for anything in the future to make sense, which has definitely bogged it down, so much so that I even cut out an entire character. Cut out the whole scene that had her in it, because really she added some humor to the chapter but not anything necessary. She doesn't make a reappearance, she doesn't play a part in the rest of the plot, so really she was kind of an insignificant character. So then I had to readjust the plot to not have her in it at all. Wheedling away, little by little. It's the first chapter where anything is really explained about the world that they're in. It's the first chapter that explains different kinds of people in the world and things that happened in the history of the world that will impact the characters later. All of those things have to be known before moving on, but it just can feel like an information dump, but I'm trying really hard for it to not feel that way. It was tedious, but I got a lot done, so I think I will just call it a day and go home. Ooh, and I want to research keto recipes. Can't forget that. Back home, and I'm hungry, so I thought I would pause getting stuff done and make some food. So I wanted to try something that I've never done before, but I've seen people do and they say it's delicious, so we're gonna try it. I've got some greens, mixed greens, baby spinach, baby chard, and baby green kale. I'm going to scramble this into some eggs. All the ingredients to make a healthy dinner. Let's hope it's good. Okay, so this is how it looks. I just did scrambled eggs the lazy way and put it in the microwave for a minute at a time, and that seems to cook the eggs really well without cooking them too fast to where they're sort of half done and gooey, and I don't like that. Just let that cool for a minute while this is toasting, and then when that's done, put some butter salt on this on the plate, put that on top, and we'll have a nice little dinner. So while the toast is toasting, I want to do a little bit of dishes, clean up what I've used. First time I ever used this. And that's what I've seen the professionals do when they cut up vegetables and things, so I figured I'd use it, but now it needs washed, so I'm gonna wash dishes real quick. This is how the dinner looks. I think it looks good. And then of course, taking this along, but I'm too lazy to put this in a dish, so we're just gonna do the whole dip and take a bite because it's just me up here. I can definitely taste the spinach. It's not an invisible ingredient, which I would rather it be. But I also didn't cut the tails off of the spinach, and apparently that's what gives it the bitter flavor. So I think next time I might cut off the tails. It doesn't taste so leafy that I wouldn't want to do this again, but it is a new taste for me when my taste buds are expecting just typical scrambled eggs. Okay, yeah, the first bite hesitation, I take back. This is actually really good. Okay, I'm gonna eat this, watch some YouTube, and then I will grab some of my cookbooks, pull up Pinterest on my phone, and see if we can write down some keto recipes. Okay, I have 5 cookbooks to go through. They're not keto per se, but they're all natural and healthy, and I thought maybe we could keto-ize them if I find any recipes that I really like. So there are a few that belonged to my mom back in the day, so these are very dated. So we'll see if any of the nutritional information still holds true. This is called Step by Step to Natural Food, which I thought was a good sign. Cancer Prevention Through the Holistic Way of Eating. That's pretty cool. Does it say when it was published? 1979. So that's the cover, and that's the author. This was before cookbooks were beautifully laid out with photos and instructions, and these I feel like were slightly more of a hot mess. This is called Vital Foods for Total Health, a cookbook and a kitchen guide. This book was published in 1966, so this is even more old. Here's the cover, and here's the author. And then we've got this one called The Maximum Energy Cookbook. Maximize your energy and feel great in just 6 short weeks. I like the idea of that. We'll see if it keeps up to its promise. This was published in 1999, but the first printing was in 1991. These are all a little bit dated, but doesn't mean there's not value in some of the recipes. And I really like the idea of energy boosting. The last two books are far more modern. This one is called Eating Purely. I found this at the library originally and decided to buy it myself. It says more than 100 all-natural, organic, gluten-free recipes for a healthy life. This is by Elizabeth Steen, with a foreword by Bobbi Brown. I assume that's the same person as the Bobbi Brown of makeup. As you can see, I did go through this book once upon a time and flagged a bunch of the recipes. So we'll revisit that because I'm pretty sure that was before my allergies. So some of those may have to be tweaked a little bit. And then the last book is called Eat Smart by Naomi Smart. She was a YouTuber originally and then branched off to more health related things. It's called What I Eat in a Day Every Day, and that's kind of a play on the videos you see a lot. What I eat in a day. She would do those a lot. And again, I flagged a lot of recipes. So I think I will put you on a time lapse while I look through these. And I've got my handy dandy notebook so that I can make a list of the recipes that I think might serve me. I do want to make a note as I'm reading through this first book. This is fascinating. This is less of a recipe thing and more of a here's everything you need to know about every single food in the world and what it does to your body, what health benefits there are, and what unhealthy side effects there are. She talks about pop and sugar and things that we're only really hearing about today. She was talking about back in, what was it, 1970 something. That's like the song. It was 1970 something. And it even has Bible references to different foods. So like in this passage it says Bible references to vegetables and goes into that. Like, I want to sit down and read this. Different vegetables are mentioned throughout the Bible and especially in connection with the children of Israel, remembering what was eaten in Egypt. In Numbers 11:5, they were called, "We remember the fish, which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic." Garlic will kill me, that's not happening. The bitter herbs, referred to in Exodus 12:8, is commonly thought of as dandelion greens. See, I keep talking about dandelions being good for you, and we have now labeled it a weed. Do you know how many medicinal herbs have been labeled weeds? It's kind of scary. Like, why were they labeled weeds? Why are we not using them in medicine anymore? Why are we using chemical compounds instead of plant-based compounds? When we have things that are medicinal that were used back in the day in the backyard. But no, we have to go through pharmaceutical companies. It's all a money thing, let's be honest. But just, it's so cool hearing her say this. Incidentally, dandelion greens have 50% more vitamin A than any other fruit or vegetable. It also contains certain B vitamins, calcium, and phosphorus. Lentils were quite popular in Genesis 25:34 when Jacob sold his pottage of lentils to Esau for his birthright. If these names mean nothing to you, they're people in the Bible from stories you probably are familiar with, even if you're not familiar with the names. Jacob and Esau were twin brothers who did not get along well. Let's put it that way. So much so that Jacob decided to trick Esau out of his birthright, which was a huge deal since Esau was the firstborn and deserved his birthright. This is on a tangent. But basically Esau came home from a hunting trip, starving to death. He was on a hunting trip. I don't know why he didn't eat then. I guess the food wasn't prepared or something. He was starving and Jacob was fixing food. So Jacob said, "You can have my food if you promise me your birthright." He was not a very nice person in his youth. And Esau was so hungry that he stupidly promised his brother his birthright. So that's what it's referencing here. Jacob sold his pottage of lentils to Esau for his birthright. So it must have been lentils then. Lentils have a food value as compared to sirloin steak. They have more protein, less fat, more calcium, phosphorus, thiamine. They're getting into words that I can't pronounce. All of those are more than steak. Daniel, you know, from Daniel in the Lion's Den, Daniel placed vegetables in high regard. I'm giving you a Bible lesson, apparently, while reading this, but Daniel was kidnapped at a young age by the king's men and brought to the king to be raised and trained as an advisor to the king. There were a lot of boys taken, but only he and a few others were selected for the job. You know the story, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, all in the burning furnace? Those are the boys that Daniel was selected with. Daniel noticed that all of the other boys who were selected, apart from him and his friends, were eating horrible food. And she's saying, apart from Daniel and his friends, all the rest of the boys that had been selected for this thing were eating poorly. And Daniel and his friends chose to eat pulse, or vegetables, alone. Vegetable food proved to be more than adequate for Daniel and his friends. Their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Now, according to this, fatter meant that their skin was better looking than others who ate the bad stuff. This is so fascinating that you probably are bored to tears at this point, but this is so cool. Even if you weren't brought up with the Bible, it's fascinating how many things correlate from a historical perspective. If you don't believe that the Bible is the Word of God, you can at least believe that it is historically accurate, which it has been proven to be. And the fact that she's pointing back to Bible verses that mention food and their benefits, which are still proven true today, is fascinating. I may not even be able to move on to these books tonight because this is just blowing my mind. My mom was going to give this to Goodwill and I snatched it up because it sounded good. I'm so glad I snatched it up. Well, I think it's safe to say that I'm going to be stuck in this book for a while. So I think I will leave the vlog here. I hope it doesn't feel too disjointed. Again, it's a day in the life and these kind of days happen. I, in my perfectionist brain, like to have things feel like a storyline. Today did not feel like a storyline. Hopefully you enjoyed it all the same. I will keep you updated on the recipes that I find within these books. Maybe we'll even have some cooking segments where we try out a recipe or two and taste test them. And that way you guys can take the recipes if you want to and try them out for yourself. This health journey of mine is gonna be a slow one, I think. Mostly because there's a learning curve, but partly also because I have such a bad connotation with trying to fix what I eat. I don't feel good in myself. I don't like what I see in the mirror, and I don't want to feel 80 by the time I'm 35, which is fast approaching. I just want to feel good in my skin again. And I haven't felt good in my skin since my soccer days in high school. And I admit I was too tiny then. I was running off everything I ate. And I will never be that small again, and I'm okay with never being that small again. But I was healthy, and I felt good. And that's the main difference. So my lipstick is about gone. The boys downstairs are talking so loud, so I think it's time to end the vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you don't mind me taking you on this trial and error health journey. This is not going to be a feature in every single vlog, but it is going to be a part of my life pretty heavily, you know, in real life, and that's naturally going to bleed into my videos every now and again. But I know a lot of people are becoming more health conscious, so maybe my trial and error will help you in some way. I don't think I'll have a home improvement moment where I go from a rickety old house with just bare bones to this gloriously made new mansion, but baby steps. That's what matters. And maybe in a year, I'll look back at this video and think, wow, I looked and felt really different then. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a future video from me. I upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays, both at 6 a.m., and I'd love for you to become a part of this little online family. I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.